Howdy ho, YouTube. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for Oyasumi Punpun. I have taken about a full week long break before today, since last time. Honestly, I think I did bookend it with Punpuns if I think back. So that's interesting. Um, uh, I'll give like a 30-second explanation of that. I found myself spiraling out of control, and not in a very good way. Anxiety levels rising, cortisol levels rising, sleep decreasing, substance use leading into the abuse category. So I took the week, and I didn't really intend to at first, or I would have been more open about notifying people about it. But I ended up taking a full 6-ish days just off. Get my sleep together, get everything together. Basically, I've talked before about Maslow's hierarchy of needs and viewing a person's internal structure as something structured and almost pyramidal and hierarchical. And I found a lot of the bottom pieces of my hierarchy falling apart, and so I took some time to just focus on them and get them settled out. And I mean, I am utterly blessed that I was able to take some time to like get my sleep fixed, and not worry about literally anything else for a number of days, other than as long as I sleep well today, nothing else matters. And as long as I get some calories in me and get some food in me, nothing else matters. And it was utterly necessary, because this past week I've basically been sitting here just actively resisting the urge to obtain alcohol. And I'll be fully open and honest about that. I purchased some whiskey, some nice whiskey on my birthday, for myself as a birthday present for myself, because I had been recommended a nice whiskey and I wanted to try it. And that was the start of sending me into a spiral. My ability to control myself around alcohol is non-existent. It really is. And once I've started, it's super hard to stop. And so this past month, if you look at the frequency of videos and the quality of videos, a lot of that is me spiraling the fuck out of control into alcohol dependency. And so for the last week, I've been off of it. Almost. I took Thursday to finish all of the whiskey that I had purchased, and now I own no alcohol and have not touched any alcohol for that period of time. We'll see how much better I can do and how much longer I can keep that up. But for the moment, I feel pretty confident that I'm off the sauce, and I'm hoping to stay that way. I made some decisions over the course of this past week about the way I want to move forward, and a lot of those decisions come from this like ball of anxiety and uncertainty that to some extent has been brought up by Punpun, by the existence of this manga, by the way that these characters interact and the way that they're talking about and dealing with future. Because a lot of some of the ideas present in Punpun have echoed and resonated with me. We're building up this story of this character with these huge dreams and this clear path into not actually being able to pursue and follow them, whether those are the romantic dreams or the like career dreams or the friendship dreams or whatever. Poon keeps hurting himself, and I see a lot of myself in that self-destructiveness. And so I don't know, when you see a mirror like that, when you see a light shown upon yourself, it when I saw it, at least, maybe I won't generalize, I felt it behooved me to address those a little bit and start dealing with them, and just to look through my existence and observe it from a little bit of an outside angle and see if I could find anything in particular worth fixing. One of those things was certainly the alcohol. One of the other ones was certainly the sleep. But there's another thing that's been kind of weighing on me, and I don't know. I thought about making another video about it, and it's minor, but it's more than minor. It feels more than minor to me, and that is that in the past, oh Jesus, in the past years, um, except for a couple of specific videos where I've been going like, oh, this is late night with Teeaboo, I'm gonna just do whatever, it's fine, or certain like movie reactions or fun patron only reactions like Isekai Shokudo or whatever. With the exception of those, I have avoided entirely. I have avoided having any cannabis in my system when I get up and I do my work. And I realized that there's a bit of a problem with that, which is that I like weed. I actually do. I actually do like it. And I've lived with this for forever. Forever. I grew up in a time when weed was not legal. And so I've got all these anxiety aspects, at least in my state, was not legal. Currently, cannabis fully legal in my state recreationally and medically as long as you're 21, which I obviously am. But I grew up in a time when it wasn't. And so that fear of like police and parents and being found is all incorporated into my experience of this substance, of this drug. And I think I held on to that. I've held on to that for too long. But I think I'm not actively going to get super blazed on camera or anything, but I'm also not going to just stop myself from recording if I happen to, like, if I wake up the next day feeling a little bit high. Likewise, I'm not going to not ever, ever, ever have any cannabis before stream. Because that's what I've been doing. And it's been like a necessity for me. It's been like an obsession. Is like, I gotta be completely sober on stream. I gotta be completely sober on camera. And I realized that it causes me so much anxiety to do things that way. And what I know for a fact that I'm okay at doing the thing while having the stuff in my system. In fact, sometimes I talk more about more interesting things. And maybe I get a little bit more tangenty and maybe that's not great, but maybe it's not the worst thing either. I like it, and so I'm gonna do it. And that's that. Like, I don't know why I had this block to it. But anyway, this whole past week has been thinking about that and experiencing some fun things, some nice things, getting some rest, severe rest. I think you can look back at myself on like Punpun Tuesday last week and look at my eyes, right? Like look at them and then look at them now and know that I have cannabis in my system, which is why they're a little bit red or off color, but these bags are not there, and that's because I've been sleeping. Gosh, man, it's so important to take some time to take care of yourself if you have the opportunity. And I know that some people don't have the opportunity because of the way that work works, and that's its own set of problems. And maybe we'll venture into that once we get into Punpun and like, you know, if we ever transition into adult life, the realities of work and the way that people are supposed to interact with their work they just seem so crazy to me. And again, that reflects and makes me feel so absolutely blessed to be doing what I'm doing and to be supported by all of you. So thank you all for sticking with me. It's super weird that over the course of a week, my Patreon has actually gone up. We'll see. That'll change in the next day or two because every month it always goes down at the end of the month and then it goes back up. Like I've had new patrons over the course of a week when I haven't been uploading, which is just, I mean, it almost brings me to tears, honestly. And I have been brought to tears a couple of times over the past week over different various things. Anyway, this is all sort of blather. This is what happens when I don't get to blather every day, because normally I get to blather out at least a portion of my stuff and concerns at the beginning of every day with the beginning of every video. And so now you've got a week of it saved up, and it's all saved up for you, Punpun fans. Anyway. That's what I've been dealing with. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's been rather psychologically taxing, and it's been rather tough on me personally. But this isn't a call for help or a call for pity. I'm telling you about what I've been going through, not what I am currently going through. Like a lot of this I've been able to put aside, and a lot of it has to do with the substances. And you know, I talk a lot about the idea of the shadow, of this this Jungian concept of taking responsibility for the darker sides of yourself. And I feel like if you're a person who has an audience or has a support network or whatever, that it's really important to talk about the things that you want to put aside, that you want to attribute to your shadow. Because alcoholism, drug use, etc. are one of the easiest things to compartmentalize, to put away and say, well, that's not me, that's drunk me. Or that's not me, that's the booze affecting me. And I think it's really important to take a little bit of radical responsibility for that. Because yes, alcohol is an addictive substance. Yes, drugs do things to people. But you're still you. And so, you know, even if it's not necessarily true, I think for the individual in the situation, it's really important to take responsibility for your own use and recognize that if you can take responsibility, because if you can take responsibility for it, you can change it, right? If you're responsible for it, then it's within your power. And I think it's really easy to say, this is outside of my power to control, right? Like, oh no, that's the addiction. That's outside of my power to control. And sometimes it's true with certain addictions, depending on how deep they are. For me, it's not yet, not on this one. And so I want to take responsibility for it. And by extension, take full responsibility for the week of missed videos because they're my fault at root. And I'm not gonna sit here and either ask for pity or empathy even for that. Nor am I going to ask for pity for an addiction that's my fault. Like, I bought whiskey on my birthday because I wanted to. And I knew when I did it that it had the possibility of causing a problem. And then it did. And I didn't manage to, I wasn't strong enough. That's it. I wasn't strong enough. And so it threw me out of loop, and I had to, because I wasn't strong enough then in that moment, I had to be strong later. And that's what this past week was. And in order to get the mental fortitude to be strong in that way, I had to cut out a bunch of the other things that I was doing because I didn't have the energy. You know, it takes a lot of energy to stop yourself from doing something. And that sounds crazy, but it's super true. And I think that it'll echo and ring true with anyone who's had any similar circumstances. So I wanted to share it and be honest and be open because those things are really important to me. So there you go. That's that. Now on to Punpun. Time skip. We skipped ahead 2 years. We're in a different school situation. We have not talked to girl in forever, which hurts so much. She seems to be dating a badminton boy, who's a like handsome boy who a lot of people like, and apparently has a big donger. So neat. Fuck, man, it hurts a lot, already, and we're moving into like. We started out fully innocent children, prepubescent, pre-adolescent, and now we're moving into the puberty zone, and I see pain in our future. I really do. I see a wall of multiple years of pain coming at us, and I think that anybody who's been through middle and high school sees that same pain coming at us. Yeah. I say anybody, but like, what about the people who are like that guy who's the, you know, head of the sports team and blah, blah, blah. Maybe he doesn't see pain from high school. Maybe he sees like, oh, that was the peak, man. That was the best. But me, I look at high school and I see pain. I see the pain of an unformed human being going through a brutal process of hierarchicalization and socialization and entry into the ill-formed, partially formed adult world that is middle and high school, because it's not an actual adult world. It's a facsimile and a fucksimile. It's just a fucked up bullshit thing that is school, and it's rough. It's really rough, and Punpun is about to be right in the middle of it. And I think we're gonna follow the rest of his little group of squaddies through it as well. See some of them through it and see where their lives end up and see whether they, you know, like get bullied or become bullies or somewhere in between or manage to somehow slip away from that, you know? Because those, I don't know, those seem to be like the three groups that pop into my head is like those who bully, those who are bullied, and those who somehow fall by the wayside. And I think you really want to be in the middle group or the last group, the ones who fall by the wayside. But we'll see for Punpun. Punpun's gonna get run over, man. He's gonna get run over by high school kids. It's gonna be rough. He doesn't stand up for himself ever. I'm fascinated by this story. I'm fascinated by where we ended off, but now we've had this time skip, and I don't know what's gonna come next. We'll just have to get into it and see. I guess I'll just I won't necessarily I'll mention this every time, but you ever see me vaping on this yellow one? That's not nicotine, that's cannabis. This is a hybrid cart from Pure Brand. It's pretty okay. All right, let's read Inio Asano's Oyasumi Punpun, Volume 3, starting with page number 1. Oh, we don't have the table of contents this time. Yep, right version. Interesting. So we got these little bits and pieces. So this looks like Punpun, Punpun Mama, Uncle, Aiko. I don't know who that is. That's Seki, right? Wait, is Seki isn't the snot-nosed kid, right? Seki is the one with the lunches, right? Yeah, that's Seki. I fully forget snot-nosed kid's name. I guess we'll find out by then. I have no idea what that is. I don't know what that is, but that might be the girl at the coffee shop, and I don't know who that is, but it might also be the girl at the coffee shop. Interesting. All right, let's get into it. Ko honey. Oh, it's Ko. That's his name. There you go. I forget. I forgot and I remember. Ko honey, don't forget your muffler. You'll become sick again if you don't wrap it tightly, you hear? So we're in winter. I put your allowance in your bag. Mama will be waiting home with your favorite meal, so hurry home after school. Well, good. That's my bright child. All right then. Have a good day. Is it? Do we ever see her? We keep seeing her like around corners and not really seeing her. That's kind of weird, right? I wonder what's up with that. Maybe it's just a visual to demonstrate a disconnect between this kid and his mom. I don't know. But he's got his scarf muffler on. I'll be going. Seki, would you please listen more attentively? Your teacher is trying to say something important. Is this a parent-teacher conference? I think so. You're either late or absent most of the time, and ever since third semester started, you haven't even shown up for the bare minimum number of classes. Compared to first semester, your grades have dropped as well. You hanging out with the wrong crowd right now, or what? Teacher, I ain't hanging out with anyone, and I ain't troubling anyone. I'm not very bright, so it doesn't matter much how much studying I do. Why can't I make my own decisions for myself? Just leave me be. Seki, society isn't as warm as you think it is. A truly intelligent person manages both his academic and social sides well. Speaking from my experience, graduating high school and teacher. Wait, a truly intelligent person. What if he's not intelligent? What if he's being honest? I've met people like this. I've met people like this who in high school were like, "Yeah, I don't get any of this shit. Listen, my dad's got me lined up. I got a job hauling lumber, and I'm gonna do that. And I know what I'm gonna do, and I'm set with it. So fuck math, fuck science. I'm just here to get the diploma, I guess." And honestly, I know some of them that went on to live pretty well and do just fine. It's a reasonable thing to do. I think if you know where you're at and know that you don't want to follow that path, then trying to deal with the pressure of overwhelming like schoolwork and stuff is awful. Oh man, I'm gonna make it. Ugh. It's so early to tangent like this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna make a tangent for you, because I watched a film over the course of this past week of break. I've been recommending it to a couple of my friends a couple of times, and then one night they ended up hanging out and being like, "We should watch a movie. What do you want to watch?" I was like, "That movie that I keep recommending to you guys. We should watch that." And the movie is called Three Idiots. It's from like 2004. It's a Bollywood film, so if you don't like Bollywood films or if music turns you off, be gone, skip ahead until I'm talking about Punpun again. But it's called Three Idiots. It's a movie that is starring Amir Khan, who I like quite a bit. I think he's quite good. And I think, if I remember correctly, he directed it or wrote it or something as well. Oh, it's 2009. It's later than I thought. Okay. No, I'm sorry. It's Rajkumar Hirani who wrote and edited it. Edited and directed it. Sorry. Wrote, edited, and directed it. Bleh. And then it's Amir Khan who is the main character in it. It's about three guys who go to engineering school. Like a super hardcore, very competitive engineering school. And the main character who Amir Khan plays, and he usually plays a character that's like this in some way, is basically a poster child for explaining everything that's wrong with the system and why the system is wrong. The whole film is an indictment of the Indian educational system, specifically the college educational system, and the way that families and the system work together to propagate this desire, this need to become a by the book wrote like engineer, doctor, lawyer, and then get a job in America for that purpose, instead of being invested in education for its own sake, invested in learning, inspiring the students to learn things. One of the core examples is the narrator character, the point of view character throughout it, Farhan, who when he is born, his we get this scene. It's almost Wes Anderson like of his whole family crowding around the crib, and his father standing over him and going, "This is my son. He's going to be an engineer." And everyone else looks at him and goes, "Ah, yes, an engineer. Very good, very good, very good." And so his fate is sealed, right? But he finds over the course of time that he really loves wildlife photography, and it's his passion, and he gets really invested in it, and he takes some pictures with a cheap camera, and he's thinking he wants to send this letter to his favorite wildlife photographer in like Bulgaria or something, and be like, "I love your work. Can I come work with you? Teach me how to wildlife photography. What do you think of these pictures that I shot?" But he doesn't do it because he goes to engineering school instead. And eventually Amir Khan's character like tries to convince him to do the other thing, right? It's the same sort of circumstance. But anyway, the reason that I bring it up is because if you, like me, are constantly searching for interesting pieces of media to observe, go watch Three Idiots, the Indian film, the Bollywood film. It's on Netflix. You can just pop it on and watch it. It's in like English, Hindi, sort of pidgin, because that's normal in Bollywood. The music is great. The songs are wonderful. It's super duper useful, I think, as a piece. There's a piece of it. I'm just going to do this, and any of you who watch the movie will understand what this means. And I will tell you that this is one of the most useful things that I've ever seen in a piece of media. And so I really love this piece of media, and I rewatched it recently, and I thought about making like a short about it, like a 1 minute long, like, hey, if you're looking for a movie to watch, because this isn't normally the kind of thing that I do on my channel, go watch Amir Khan's Three Idiots. It's really fun. Anyway, go watch it. It has to do a lot with motivation, with school, with looking at your own future, and with defining what success means. And to some extent, the fact that I watched it over the course of this week has had an influence over the way that this week of rebuilding myself has gone. So I wanted to bring that up for you. Anyway, speaking from my experience graduating high school and teacher, is that really appropriate for a teacher to say? I thought we were here to talk about me. Holy shit! Seki! Why do you think that your experience can speak for everyone? Is this how intelligent adults argue back? Fine, I got it. I'll be having a parent-teacher meeting later this week, so I'll just tell your parents then. Fine, but my dad's a drunk, so I don't think it'll be any good. Whatever, just go. Wow, this teacher just gives up on him. So he calls him out, like, directly, because he talks past him. He talks straight past him, right? This guy fully does not listen. Okay, you're later absent. Your grades have dropped. What's going on? And he immediately is like, are you hanging out with the wrong crowd or what? His only assumption is that, like, somebody else is influencing you. Teacher, I'm not hanging out with anyone, and I'm not troubling anyone. I'm not very bright, so it doesn't matter how much studying I do. There is a problem here. There's a significant problem with Seki's argument here, which is that it's a pretty smart argument, right? By way of this argument of like, man, just let me chill in school. I'm not that smart. That's a pretty smart argument, isn't it? You're not as dumb as you're making yourself out to be, Seki. But why can't I make my own decisions for myself? Just leave me be reasonable to some extent. Society isn't as warm as you think it is. That doesn't give us any relevance to the actual discussion. A truly intelligent person, a real Scotsman fallacy. This is a real Scotsman fallacy, like straight up. A truly intelligent person manages both his academic and social sides well. No truly intelligent person would argue that they are not intelligent in order to get out of classes. Bullshit. Classes aren't fun. What if he doesn't like them? Speaking from my experience, graduating high school and... He's going to say, speaking from my experience, getting a high school degree is extremely important for your future. Okay. Like, really though? Now, I'm going to say something that's a little bit off, but I'll preface it by saying, I think teaching is a wonderful profession, and I think that if you are invested in teaching people how to learn, then it's the only profession to choose. It's the best thing that you can do. However, if you do teaching as a job and you express that it is important to get out of high school and your background for that is your own experience, because I think this guy does teaching for a job. He does not seem passionate about it. And your experience is, I got a high school degree and became a teacher, not a well-paid profession, not a profession that if you're not invested in it, you'll get anything out of. And my experience is that was really important for me to do. That sounds like some bullshit coming from Seki's perspective, right? Like, fuck you, man. And he fully gives up. Fine, I got it. I give up. He doesn't argue back. He does nothing. Wow. This guy sucks. Damn. Wow, what a change in art style. I can't put my finger on exactly what it is. Maybe fineness of lines? Something like that. Damn. I sure am in my rebellious phase. Wow, that's some serious self-awareness. Shimizu? And he's got the scarf on. What is this? Handing money over. Is he getting drugs? Oh, there's Punpun. Hi, Punpun, for the first time. So he's with the badminton squad. I think that tall, freckly boy is the boy who we see in one of the table of contents things, but I don't know. What is Shimizu buying? I think he's buying money. I think he's buying drugs. That's my guess. What? What the hell are you talking about? Shimizu gave... Oh, he's being extorted. Shimizu gave it to me out of his own free will. He's so dumb that these people are manipulating him and extorting him. Money is something you work hard and earn. And of course, Seki has this perspective because of where he comes from, what his father does. He knows that every bill that comes in is a stack of lunches that have been like worked on and made. What's up with that logic? What makes you think that's an absolute truth? Why am I even talking to a retard like you anyways? You and your loner posing? Who do you think you are anyways? An idiot like you shouldn't be pretending to be righteous. Yeah, he's gonna punch him. He's gonna get suspended for it. Because like we've already expressed that this kid is capable of ideating violence, right? With his father and the baseball bat. And now he gets talked down to this way. He's gonna punch him. Loner posing? An idiot like you shouldn't pretend to be righteous. But we understand why he feels this way. Money is something you work hard and earn. Super good. But it's even more, it's an indictment of this guy in particular. You should have, it's not like Seki worked hard for that money, so you shouldn't take it from him. It's that you're a bastard for getting money in any way other than working hard for it. Sick. And he thwacks him good. Seki! Seki! Abe's not a bad guy. I'm sorry. It's all my fault. Shit. Oh, and he elbows him too. That's not the problem here. That's not it, you fucker. Just think about it. Next up is you, huh? Doesn't matter that you're a girl. Why are you... I was only watching by. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, even. God, you're such a creep. I'm not scared of you. Not even in the slightest. You think you're so cool? You're just a loser. And she starts lighting up. Oh, it took me a second. Wow. He takes a step back. What? Huh? What? Is this for real? This kid is actually afraid of fire. Haha, Seki, how pathetic. You're acting just like the dog I have at home. Much like you won't ever be of any use to society. So all you misfits should just die. Wow. Who's gonna be the bully and who's gonna get bullied? Wow. Ah, and he's got a baton. So he ends up standing over him. This is oddly spaced out. So, but he does hit him with the baton. Yeah. I'm sorry. Seki, I just wanted to get along with everyone well. That's impossible. We're all idiots. You, me, everyone. I know very well. Why do things never go well? Hey, Shimizu, you used to say you could see God back in elementary school, right? How about now? Can you still see him? Shimi. No, I can't see him anymore. Figured. There's no way something like that would exist in this world. In the end, people can only rely on themselves. Seki, aren't you lonely being by yourself all the time? If you'll believe in me, I swear I'll protect you. Oh, wow. So, okay. So this is a little confusing based on like who's speaking when, but this is Seki speaking. If you'll believe in me, I swear I'll protect you. Wow. It's so funny. In the end, people can only rely on themselves. If you believe in me, I swear I'll protect you, in the same panel. Not just in a rebellious phase, you're in a conflicted phase. Because if the first statement is true, then why would he believe in you? He can't rely on you. Cool scene. So don't leave me alone anymore. Okay. Wow. Doobie 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 doo. Transition to Punpun is walking and he sees that guy and Aiko walking together. Ruh-roh. Okay, again, I'm going to note that there has been a distinct change in the art style. It feels like the city is more city-esque, and the backgrounds are more city-ish, and everything is bigger and darker and more refined and a little bit more mature. And I don't mean that in terms of the shape of the character faces, but like in terms of the style of everything. I don't know. I understand that a lot of these are photos that have been drawn over, right, by Asano, because that's a process that he uses, and I don't have any problem with that. I think they're great. But, like, it's different. It's different looking. It looks immensely different. The shading style has also changed, and it feels more detailed and more mature. It's interesting. Punpun walking, these two walking. Oh, boy. This middle school student known as Punpun never stopped believing that Tanaka, a girl with such warm hands, was his fated person. This boy had been following his love quietly for the past 2 years. Oh, God. Oh, no. But on this day, he witnessed the clear-cut truth. Ka-kong. Ah! Hell! Oh! Alright, guys, that's gonna be the end of the episode for today. We're done here. We've seen it all. It's all been that way. Man, oh man. Your crush holding hands with someone else. Ooh. Someone you dated changes their relationship. So your ex changes their relationship status to in a relationship. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, the worst feelings, man. Ugh. Welcome home. Ah, so tired. Yuichi, when's dinner? As you can see, I'm in the midst of cooking it right now. And Punpun, he shut himself in his room as soon as he came home from school today. Yup. Geez, that child, why is he so gloomy? Did you go out drinking again? Thwack, thwack. Wow, yeah, she's kind of in a mood, huh? Very animated. Did you go out drinking again? Punpun decided that he would pretend he never saw today's events. But it was impossible. Yeah, man. Repression. It doesn't work. Ha GBA. Fuck yeah. I guess if Aiko's happy, then it's all good. Oh, man. This process of that night rationalizing everything and trying to, like, make it work, he tried to forget about everything. Yup. Fucking nailed it, Asano. Exactly on point. But it was impossible. Hot pot going. Hello, God. Ahem. To everyone's surprise, we'll be having tomato nabe. To nobody's surprise. Ah, I'm in love with you. I love you. I guess it's always like this, but mealtime in this house seems a little bit uneasy. Sister, how was work today? Was it any fun? Just how much fun do you think working as a supermarket cash register with other middle-aged women is? The only thing they ever do is sigh. Ah, sorry. And Yuichi, why the heck are you yapping so much today? Why are you in such a good mood? It pisses me off. I can't live without you. Me too, Reiko. Oh, me too, Reiko. Maybe it's love? Huh? What did you just say? Punpun thought that maybe this was the only place he could quietly think by himself. I love that we're going back and forth between these two conversations, or the conversation and then his internal dialogue. There's still no absolutely positive proof that Aiko and Yaguchi are dating. That's the attitude. Punpun, cool as always. And even if they were going out and Aiko liked Yagura, it's not such a big deal. That's right, Punpun. You're so cool. Minimize, repress. Oh, well, we learned about Punpun's coping strategies pretty solidly here. I wonder if Aiko's already kissed him. Or have they maybe even had sex already? Punpun, stay calm! Stay calm, Punpun! Stay calm! I don't even know. Punpun! How long are you going to stay in there? Your mother is very tired, so she wants to take a bath and go to bed soon. Oh, and there's a letter for you. It's from him. It's from him. Can't believe he sends a letter to you every month. The letter was from Punpun's father, who was now working as a night guard at the hydro plant in his hometown back in Kagoshima. So, when his father said that he was a NASA scientist going off to be a test pilot, Punpun knows that's not true, right? That's the kind of thing... That's the kind of thing that sticks in a kid's head, I think. It's a meaningless lie, right? In the moment, it feels lighthearted and whatever, but it piles up, right? It's meaningless. It's the kind of thing that as a kid gets into adolescence and starts to have conflict with their parents, they remember that kind of thing. And they realize that their parents are liars or are capable of lying. It poisons the well a little bit. That's tough. The contents of the letter was always a nonsense story about space and an army of giants. And the letter always ended the same way. Please forever stay my good, honest son, Punpun. Dad. The winter night sky was ever so clear, and its stillness creeped into his ears. Even though Punpun did not yet appreciate the bitter taste of coffee, he could slowly feel his self growing blacker. Fuck you, Asano. What a line! What a line! Poetry. Even though Punpun did not yet appreciate the bitter taste of coffee, he could slowly feel his self growing blacker. The multiple implications, the association of internal soul blackness with the consumption of bitter coffee. And the clear link between coffee drinking and adulthood, right? What a line! Oh my god! That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's the end of the chapter. Wow. This first chapter was nuts. Wow. Let us end this homeroom class then. Committee chair, is there anything else left to say? Nothing in particular? Okay, please take care returning home, people. Thanks for the hard work, everyone. So cold. Maybe I should have gone to a private school instead. And you need to hurry up and decide on something. You were the one who said we should all do something as a group over the summer break, weren't you? I have to get going to my club soon. Is tomorrow good? No good? Oh, is tomorrow no good? Jeez. You like badminton that much, Komatsu? When did you turn into such a sports freak? And give me that. Huh? Yaguchi? Ah, he does seem to be Sono's type. I heard he has a huge dick, as big as a king trumpet mushroom. Wow, the photo. Hey, idiot, are you listening to me? I don't like those kinds of guys who are never serious. But you know, he does have a lot of first-year girls as his fans. Some younger girl might just steal him away. Wow. I don't even know what the fuck that is. He's licking his own... I don't even understand. Nothing. Ah, but isn't Yaguchi currently dating Ai Tanaka? I don't even know what this is either, but it fucking jump scared me. What is this? It's clearly a ritual. Is this a funeral? What is this? I don't know. But the face on Punpun makes this amazing. That's pure visual humor. That girl. I used to play with her back in elementary school, but there's something a bit off in her head. It's just something about her just annoys you from time to time. Doesn't she always leave early as soon as school's over? Family business? Do you think maybe schoolgirl prostitution? What? So she's a slut getting it on with a lot of men? And this girl is so into that idea. Wait, I don't know what this reaction is, actually. What is this reaction that she just has? That's interesting. I mean, she's been in this position this whole time, right? And she's very annoying. I find this girl very annoying. But she, like, goes into shock. It's as though he says, do you think maybe schoolgirl prostitution somebody? And then this guy and she completely lock in, like, frozen. Is she doing, like, compensated dating? Drama! Well, to be honest, I don't really want to get involved. But she is a part of that really sketchy cult, isn't she? And he goes batoing with, like, a love kiss. And she, I don't know, eats it? I don't know. One of their members tried to sell my mom some really weird water. Yeah, been that way. Seems like the worst kind of girl, that Tanaka Ai. Seems like the worst kind of girl, that Tanaka Ai. Seems like the worst kind of girl, that Tanaka Ai. Woof. Give me a second. So I'm checking the other version. Because some of the lines have felt a little bit weird. So, give me a sec. Wink? So part of the reason that this version is said to be interesting is because the dialogue or the all of the, like, lick, all of the little things are translated. But there are some problems with it. For example, this line that I thought was so good. The winter sky was crystalline and the silence stabbed deep into Punpun's ears. Actually, he had no idea what good coffee tasted like, but Punpun did notice the dark and murky turn his emotions were taking. That doesn't resonate as well. It's not as poetic. It might be more directly accurate. They're both good. I don't really mind either of them. I think I like the other one better, in general. Okay, anyway, seems like the worst kind of girl, that Tanaka Ai. She is, isn't she? Ha 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 ha. Huh? Punpun, you're not going to badminton today? Punpun. All right then, bye. Did not want to see anyone for the rest of the day. Coward. Aiko is not a bad girl, Punpun whispered to himself. Then say it out loud instead of laughing with them. Yaguchi must be the one who's forcing Aiko to do bad things, Punpun thought to himself. All right, I got it. Just kill him. As Punpun felt the blackness creeping into his emotions, he felt his memories of Aiko, her expressions, her feelings, fading far away into the light. Aiko! I want to talk to you one more time. I want to hold your hand one more time. I want to kiss your lips one more time. I want to see what's underneath Aiko's underwear. Ooh, porn. Hey, what are you doing here? You skipped today's practice, didn't you? What are you doing here? Kill him. Good luck, bro. Ah! What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? Who's that on the floor? Why is Aiko there? Why is she so creepy? What's going on? What is this? What is this? What is this? And how can I get a phone wallpaper background as this? What is this? What the fuck? Hey, what are you doing here? You skipped today's practice, didn't you? I said, what are you doing here? Kill him. Oh well, I guess everyone has those days. I understand. Hey, that's actually relatively understanding, and like he's a human being. Oh, interesting. Your name was Ozawa? No. Odashima? No. Onodera. Sorry, but you're just not the most noticeable guy, you know? You go home this way? Because it's the same for me, too. So why don't we go together? I can wait for you if you're going to buy a book. No need to hurry, all right? Ah, you must be pretty smart, buying such a difficult book like that. Business management. I'm useless when it comes to studying. Guess it's because I've been doing nothing but badminton since elementary school. So this guy's a cool jock, huh? Shit, I hate this. I hate it so much. The only thing worse than seeing the girl you like with somebody is knowing that they're not a bad person. It's the worst. It's like the worst. Fuck, I should actually be happy for them. I have to win at the next prefectural tournament no matter what. If I can't get a recommendation letter with my athletic abilities, I'm in serious trouble. Punpun managed to barely pull himself out of that mess with a cool, composed idea, but he couldn't relax just yet. Because this boy must be forcing Aiko to do bad things. That doesn't matter, just do it. Ah! Oh no! Watch out! Saved by a hair's breadth. He was about to stab Punpun with a sharp dagger as he turned around. Good instincts, Punpun. What? Okay, I'm gonna agree that God is just inside Punpun's brain. Hey, you want something to drink? Now! Shoot! With what? How are you gonna stab? Like, with what weapon? You fucking idiot. Here, it's really cold today, so drink up. His eyeball! Take aim for the eyes! This is the best gag. Looks like the first years won't be able to practice their practice swings outside soon. God, everything's so boring and tiresome. The club leader, advisor, secretary, they're all so obstinate. I'm being a little harsh when I say this, but they're too weak and can't convince anyone. Even the second years are probably better than them in terms of badminton skills. Man, but you know, that first year Komatsu is amazing. He's a genius. He's the kind of guy where if you teach him one thing, he could do 10 or 20 things. I sometimes think that all my hard work and efforts are meaningless when compared to his talent. Wow. To be honest, I sometimes wonder just what I've been working so hard for. I thought, as long as I could become the All Japan Juniors champion, I wouldn't mind giving my all in life. But in the end, I'm no genius, just another mediocre person. I guess average people like me are better off having smaller dreams. Ugh, whatever. Let's talk about something less depressing. Oh my god, this guy's literally the protagonist of every sports manga. I fucking hate him. I fucking hate him in this context. I love him in the context of Haikyuu and in the context of like fucking every sports manga. This is the guy who works hard and then the freshman comes in who's got all the talent in the world and they become rivals, right? This is that guy and he's just telling his whole story to Punpun, and in the from his own perspective when he's just telling it to somebody, it's brutally awful. I hate him. I hate him. Ugh. Unfortunately, the reason that I hate him is because he's a likable dude. God damn it. Ugh, my hard work and effort is meaningless when compared to his innate talent. I guess I just have to work harder so that I can win the prefectural tournament. Ugh, go be in some other show. Go be in some other anime, dude. You're not welcome here. I want to find out about your depressing secrets. I want to find out about your core flaws and your serious issues, and this is not that. I understand that you're struggling over this concept, but come on, man. Oh, I just saw the next line. You got anyone you like? I recently got a girlfriend for the first time in my life. Oh, he's gonna fucking vent about how hard it is, how he doesn't know what to do. I don't know what I should talk about with her, and I get so damn nervous holding her hand. Lately, I can't get her out of my mind. With my mind like this, no wonder I can't beat Komatsu. Yeah, I'm sorry. I ended up talking about another depressing thing. What the hell's wrong with me? So he's gonna become Punpun's walk home from school and vent buddy, maybe? Fuck. What if Punpun becomes a Cyrano de Bergerac with this guy and, like, tells him what to tell Aiko to make her love him? God, that would fucking suck. Oh, there's so many ways this could go. I don't know. I'm gonna be stopping by here, so see ya. Oh, no. It's not a serious injury. Don't tell anyone about this, okay? And make sure you come to tomorrow's morning practice, got it? Oh, and one more thing. Do you think it's a bit narrow-minded of me as a person if my greatest joy in life is making my girlfriend happy? Fuck. No. He's such a good boy. All he wants to do is work hard and make his girlfriend happy and succeed in his chosen pursuit. I fucking hate him. I fucking hate him. Sorry, I only felt like saying it since you're such a good listener. We should talk more sometimes. Yaguchi's smiling face reminded Punpun of Harumi and his friend from long ago. The girlfriend that he talked about was Aiko, without a doubt. Even so, Punpun still liked Aiko. Yet at the same time, Punpun also liked Yaguchi a little bit. Punpun wanted for Yaguchi to find even the tiniest bit of happiness. But then, who would be there to accept his feelings of love? I don't know what to do anymore! I just don't know! What? Okay. And that's the chapter. I'm gonna switch. And I'm gonna go back a little bit. Okay, I'm a little bit worried about using the official translation for that purpose, but I'm gonna go back 2 pages. The girlfriend that Yaguchi had referred to was probably Aiko. Even so, Punpun loved Aiko, and Punpun liked Yaguchi just a little bit too. I'm now reading the omnibus version. I'm on volume 2, page 65. Okay? Or PO 65, but it's 66 in order of images. Onward. And it's a CBZ file. Punpun wanted Yaguchi to find happiness, no matter how modest, but Punpun wondered who would welcome his love. He didn't know what to do anymore. Oh, that actually does change what I was imagining here. Schlick, fap. He didn't know! Thong! Punpun, you're a good kid. It makes me want to puke. Do you really think it's possible for everyone to be happy? One person's happiness is built on the misfortune of others. No matter how good you are, you still inadvertently hurt other people. Or are you saying that you're strong enough to take on the entire world's sadness? Hey, wimpy, hypocrite Punpun. Do you know the best way to keep from getting hurt by other people? Kill them first. No, obviously. But this is the hedgehog's dilemma, right? Precisely. This is the Evangelion hedgehog's dilemma. You hurt people, other people hurt other people. You're all hedgehogs. How do hedgehogs get hugs? Hedgehogs need hugs too. How do they get them? They're covered in spikes. Well, you have to open yourself up to other people and expose your soft, squishy little belly, and then you can get your hugs. This is reality. This is the truth of things. And you have to be open to the possibility that you will be hurt in the process. Do you have to take on the entire world's sadness? No. No matter how good you are, you still inadvertently hurt other people? Yes, and you have to be aware of this. You have to be aware of your capacity to do so. You have to know about your spines. You have to understand your shadow. You have to understand your own capacity for violence and destruction and death and all these bad things that you can do. Kill them first? No, but keep them at a distance? Yes. Kill your relationship with them is the same as killing them, right? If you just ghost somebody and never ever talk to them again, they might as well be dead to you. Right? It's the same idea. Beep, 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 beep. Punpun, you're gonna be late for practice. He totally ignored me. What is with him? Is he rebelling? So annoying. Dash, 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 dash. Yep, right up there with your menopause. Woof. Dash, 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 dash. Whew. Swish. Squeak, squeak. Pew, 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 whack. Fa. And he gets destroyed. We finally get in the gym, and all we're doing is refereeing. It's too early for this. Pussy, pussy. I don't get that. Yagachi, will you please take this seriously? Sorry. My bad. I really have to pee. Coach, can I take a quick break? Oh, this guy's the coach too? He is taking it seriously, isn't he? That's the difference between them, isn't it? Fuck. Man, Yagachi's on the decline. He's always been the best in the city, but he's no match for Komatsu. No way he's going to win the Northern Prefectural Tournament. Even if he makes it to the finals, he'll be up against Komatsu. It's just painful, pussy. What? What? Okay, I'm switching. I'm switching back just to see what the fuck that is. I'm gonna keep going back and forth between these versions as it behooves me. It's just not there. It's just not there. Okay. Oh. So he's injured his foot. It's unclear where, but his foot or his ankle. He's holding his ankle, clutching it. And probably by playing on it, he's making it worse. And ruining his life. His whole life. Fuck. Punpun, this is very important to me, so let me try to explain. When you're on the court, winning or losing is the only thing that matters. I don't know what's going on with Yagachi, but if he steps on the court, if anyone does, I will demolish them with the utmost respect. That's my code. And it's not just about sports. When we're standing on the court of life, we should play hard for the upper hand. People love words like equality and peace, but as far as I'm concerned, those are just opiates for the losers. Okay. This is a type A personality. Simple. Human history is propelled by conflict. That's how languages and cultures are born. How we're even here to experience our joys and sorrows. If having perfect equality comes at the cost of the individual, do you think that can really lead to true happiness? No. It has to do with a conflation of two ideas. Equality is not the same as equity of outcome. Equality of opportunity, I should say, is not the same as equity of outcome. And I don't think that this policy can govern all concepts because it doesn't work super well in certain other fields. Like in some economics fields, it works, and in other economic fields, it doesn't work. In some places, it works. In other places, it doesn't. The general lilt of individualism is very easy to get behind if you're talented. It's very easy to pursue this logical thread if you have something that you're good at. Then it's easy to say, well, conflict is the way that everything goes, and those who fail in the face of conflict don't deserve to exist on the court, is what he would say, right? There's a problem, though, when you extend this like sports-specific competitive mindset to the whole world or all of life, and that is that the court is living, right? And you end up infringing upon the inalienable right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness that I personally believe every individual sentient being human has. And when you say that if you're not capable, if you're just a loser, if you're not capable of reaching the upper hand, if you're someone who would get demolished, then you should get off of the court. That works on the court when you can get off the court and go pursue something else in your life. It doesn't work when your pursuit of like contentedness and being okay as a human being means killing other people, in a sense, or like pushing them aside. It's rough. The difference, I think, is that conflict, competitiveness, competitive sports, for example, are consensual. They're consensual. Now, to some extent, they're not. Some kids get forced into it by their parents or yada yada, or they're forced into it by their biology to some extent. They're put on a path, but they are consensual. When you get into a sports field, if you become a competitive athlete, you compete with the knowledge that you might not win, right? If you become a competitive CrossFitter, you're against thousands and thousands of other CrossFitters. If you're a competitive sprinter, you're against thousands and thousands of other sprinters. And the joy is figuring out where you are in that ranking and trying to improve it. But you've consented to the competition. And you haven't really consented to the competition of life in this sense. You know? I don't know. Anyway. Human history is propelled by conflict. That's how languages and cultures are born, how we're even here to experience our joys and sorrows. This is a broad generalization, and I think it's not true in large part. It's community that creates languages and cultures, and then it is conflict that shapes them by its nature. Like, obviously, conflict shapes them, but I don't think so. If you don't want conflict, go to a deserted island. I agree with this. I do agree with this. Only rocks on a riverbank can get along equally, same size, same pressures. If you don't want conflict, go to a deserted island. If having perfect equality comes at the cost of the individual, do you think that can really lead to true happiness? No. Perfect equality is silly, is foolish. It's dumb. That would be equity of outcome, not equality of opportunity. I do believe in equality of opportunity, though. And beyond that, I think that my definition of opportunity requires the inclusion of some kind of fallback for those who fail initially. Some kind of way to divert them into something that they could succeed at, or at least do okay at. But I don't know. If you don't want conflict, go to a deserted island. I agree, and I believe in this. And this comes back to the hedgehog's dilemma and my perspective on it, right? Like, I say very often on this channel, and I've said before, and I'll say again, you have two choices when it comes to people. Either you can have the pain, the suffering of being alone, or you can have the suffering of knowing other people. And both are suffering, and it's up to you which one is worth more or worse. Simply, you will suffer if you pursue relationships with others, whether they're friendships, what kind of relationships they are. You will suffer, and you will also suffer if you're alone. I think you will suffer more if you're alone. But it's up to you to decide. Anyway, that's right. Winning and losing are life itself. It makes your cells and your soul throb. That's why I always go. It makes your cells and your soul throb. Some people don't have this. Some people don't have this competitive mindset. To a large part, I don't. To a large extent, I don't. Now, I can become competitive in circumstances, but very often I don't have this mindset at all. It doesn't make my cells or my soul throb. Proving myself better than someone else isn't something that I need, that I require. Just don't need it. But I know people who need it. Maybe it's narcissism to some extent. Maybe it's something else. In this case, he just seems type A and talented, right? I want to pursue becoming the best that I can. And I judge that based on being better than everyone else. Reasonable perspective and a reasonable human archetype. But pushing it onto someone else, like Punpun, who clearly is not that archetype, it's the kind of thing that type A people do a lot. It's the kind of thing that type A people do a lot, is push their perspective onto others. It can make them very, very difficult friends to have, because they will look down on you, and they will eventually gain contempt for you for not pursuing things the way that they do. It reminds me a lot. Again, this is the second thing that's come up that's directly relevant to Three Idiots, the film that I was talking about before. The main character in it, Rancho is his name, is totally uncompetitive. He loves learning for the sake of learning. And again, he's the poster child for the opposite of the way that the Indian education system has been working, right? The collegiate and like post degree thing has been working in that nation. He's the absolute opposite. He goes to classes to learn for fun, right? He's there to learn for its own sake. And he's got a foil in the film whose name is Chatur. And Chatur is there to be the best. And he's all about being the best. And a big part of his reason in the film, his whole thing is that at one point they play a prank on him that's very funny. And he scrawls in with like a piece of broken glass into a water tower. It's like super dramatic Bollywood shit. He scrawls a date and he says, 10 years from now, you and me, we come and we meet at this spot and we'll see who's more successful. I'll be more successful than you. I'll be more successful than you. And he graduates with good grades and he ends up having like a mansion and a job and a wife and all these things. And by the end of the film, I won't even spoil it, but we call into question what success means because his desire is purely to one-up someone else, and the other's is to just pursue learning for the sake of learning. And Chatur holds him in contempt for it. Even though he frequently gets better grades and better results and is happier and has better relationships and has friends. All of these things, Chatur holds him in contempt because he won't compete with him, because he won't fight him. Fight me. Fight me. It's crazy. It's crazy. By the way, sorry if you hear lawnmower noises in the background. I'll move the mic. I know I read the comments about like the being too close to the mic, and I know some people don't like it. I'm working on it, but part of that is that when the mic is very close to me, it picks up just my voice and nothing else. And then when I do my audio engineering stuff on the back end, I don't have to worry about taking out like lawnmower noises or things because they're not in there. Oh, it just got quieter. Good. Punpun, you ignorant pacifist. Contempt. Are you going to die without ever knowing the joy of truly living, and galaxies inside his eyes as he talks about this very enticing worldview? The joy of living. Punpun wasn't sure what Komatsu was talking about. Nice. Is the next class in the AV room? Let's see if we can hold our breath the whole time we're pissing. I've done that. But he wondered why it was wrong to want everyone to be happy. It's not. It's just possibly impossible. It's just that you set yourself up for failure. But it's not wrong. I wonder if everyone thinks differently than I do. The very thought. Oh, the thought made him very afraid. I forget what stage of development this is, when you recognize that other people are their own self-contained individuals. When do human children recognize others as sentient? Aware others are people. About 10 months old. About 15 months, they gain the simple empathy of understanding that other people can have feelings just like you can have feelings. And that develops into the ability to lie and the ability to know that you can mislead people. But at what stage do you recognize that everyone is different than you? That everyone has their own perspectives on everything? Because it happens later. It happens when people start to diverge in adolescence, I think. Interesting. If it turned out that everyone else was an alien from another planet, Punpun would, in his current state, have no trouble believing it. What is this? What is going on? What is happening? What is this? What is happening? Okay. Aiko-da! And she's crying. Is she breaking up with him? Is he breaking up with her? But he wouldn't be. Aiko is crying! Aiko is headed this way! Fuck, that's so pretty. Little half smile and a turn away. She'd ignored him. It's not even a half smile. It's a... No way. Aiko wasn't that mean. Punpun knew there must be a good reason. Oh, of course. In the last 2 years, Aiko's eyesight has really deteriorated. That would be good. Punpun was sick of his own optimism. Oh, that's it. Aiko had feelings for me all this time, but Yaguchi coerced her into going out with him. Plus, he must have threatened her if she talked to other guys. Of course, that must be it. What a lowlife. Yaguchi is just scum. The jealous monster. Maybe I should hit him on the head from behind. Yaguchi isn't like that. Punpun was starting to hate himself. But if Aiko was crying, then Yaguchi must have done something to make her sad. Punpun really wanted to know what. No matter how much thought he put into it, the answer just wouldn't come to him. And he couldn't understand Yaguchi, his mom, or Komatsu at all. What is in the background? It's the thoughts. It's all of the thoughts, right? I wonder if Aiko will kill me so it doesn't hurt. I love you too. If that's what Aiko wanted. The worst, my head. You're just embarrassed. We all have stuff. My head, war, the worst, super weird. Would explode. Did Aiko get home okay? Seriously, dude, you aren't very memorable. Fuck. Maybe you need to go Yaguchi? It doesn't matter what it all says. It's all a mangled mind meld. Because that's confusion. This is the racing thoughts. This is a visual expression of it. And it's fucking awesome. No matter how much thought he put into it, the answer just wouldn't come to him, and he couldn't understand Yaguchi, his mom, or Komatsu at all. I wonder if, unbeknownst to me, Aiko has become a completely different Aiko who I don't know at all. But what if maybe Aiko doesn't like me anymore? That thought made Punpun. Punpun! Punpun thought his chest would explode. And Yaguchi cries as well. Honda, Iwamoto, Yaguchi, Komatsu, you guys are the singles team. The Northern Prefecture Tournament is next week. Those of you who weren't selected, cheer your teammates on. Hey, you, first year over there, pay attention. Punpun felt like his brain might explode if he thought anymore, so he decided to fill his head with choco pies in space instead. Hey! Onodera! Let's walk together! At the clinic yesterday, they told me my foot's pretty bad, and the doctor said no more sports. The tournament's next week. It's cold. It might snow. Do you want something to drink? Nuh-uh. You know, that girl I told you about yesterday? I don't know. We held hands once, but she hasn't let me touch her since. What do you think's up with that? She's the one who asked me out. Punpun had no way of knowing what Aiko was thinking. Dude, are we gonna watch Yaguchi's life collapse? Oh yeah, I told her about you at lunch today. You know, like, there's a nice kid on my team kind of thing. And then her face just... I asked her what was wrong, but she wouldn't answer. Actually, she was crying. Fuck, dude. They broke up because of Punpun? She actually... What? Oh, wait, is that same guy? Why are there two of them? They're identical. What's going on? So, did you and Aiko used to have something going on? Maybe you're the one she really loves, Onodera. Say something, or I'll do something really embarrassing. You know, Aiko goes straight home after school. I heard she takes care of her sick dad. So I thought about it really hard, and I figured I should get a job as soon as possible so I can make things easier on her. I'd easily give up badminton for that. It's because she always looks so sad. I thought I have to do something about that. That's right, Punpun thought. Aiko does always look a little sad. That hasn't changed. Fuck, man, this guy's giving up his dreams to get a job for Aiko? Shoot him! Oh my god. I love Aiko. Punpun's words. I love Aiko. Onodera, I'm not asking how you feel. I don't know how Aiko feels. But I love her, Punpun said in almost a whisper. Ah! 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 What is this? What's going on? I'm feeling really fuzzy. How do I explain it? It feels like there's only half of me. I should have just stuck to badminton. I'd not gone out with her. Oh my god, this guy actually, like, actively overcoming his emotions. I love him so much that I hate him. He's so got his shit together. Fucking Yagachi. I can't do it. I can't choose between them. If I can't have both, then I don't want either. What is this? Shit! Onodera, if I don't win the tournament next week, I'll forget all about Aiko, and you have to tell her how you feel. Oh, but if I win, then Aiko is mine for life. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to do this, but here's the thing. I was going to stop after this chapter because I love Aiko. From Punpun as an admission, amazing. But then this, and then this, and then this, into, if I win, then Aiko is mine for life. This is the best end of episode. like, boom, cut to Hunter x Hunter ED, right? Like, boom, such a perfect cliffhanger from this guy. The big screen, I see it going to Zaki frame and becoming all painterly in front of me as I watch it. This is perfect. This is the perfect place to end for this episode of Punpun. So, here we are. I'm switching between versions, but mostly I'm reading the omnibus now, the Viz version, I believe. So that should be good. And some people should be happy about it. I don't think anybody will be miffed by it or pissed about me switching. Maybe people will be mad about me switching back and forth, but that should happen less. So I'm just going to do that whenever I don't have full context on what somebody's saying, just to look and see if I can figure it out based on two translations better than one. Gosh, oh golly, this section of Punpun has been really interesting. Immediately, we're jumping into adolescence, and adolescence is fraught. It's full of problems, the romantic problems, the hormonal changes, the weird stuff, the social issues that happen, and a lot of the questions that I had at the outset are being addressed. Aiko is front and center in this story, obviously, but then we start to find out some stuff about Seki and some stuff about Ko. Misaki? No, Ko. I forget his normal name, what they normally call him. Nothing. And where the rest of our friend group is kind of going in different directions. But now we've introduced these other characters that are involved in this life, are involved in everything, and seem to be hugely important. We've got this kind of grade A rival for Punpun, and he has a grade A rival of his own, right, in the other badminton kid, but to Punpun, this guy's a direct rival for love, and he is the shonen protagonist character, and he's actually, like, he seems to be emotionally well-centered and well-socialized and well-developed, right? He actively expresses his difficulty dealing with emotions, right? We see Punpun over the course of these chapters go home and fap in bed and stare at the wall and dream about nothingness and get twisted in his mind and not let any of it out. And we see this other guy, like, get these powerful, conflicted emotions and put them out there into the world and express them effectively and do something with them, right? Someone with some serious problems, right? His dreams are being shattered in front of his eyes, like his ankle. And his love for this girl seems so pure and true in a way that Punpun's is not. It's not, right? It's really interesting. This chapter is really interesting. This section is really interesting. And this cliffhanger is fantastic. So, I'm going to wrap there. Thank you so much for coming along with my rambling insanity. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, this reading, or this half of a volume of Oyasumi Punpun. I sure have. I think it's been a really, really interesting one. And as always, I hope to catch you next week for more. There will be an early access version of next week's chapter of Punpun, or section of Punpun, that will be up on the Patreon. So if you want more now, you can go and acquire that via the Patreon as soon as you'd like. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership and your support and your comments so very much. I didn't do a comment spotlight this time, but I plan to continue doing those. So hit me with your good stuff. And I'll see you next week for more Punpun. Thanks. Peace.